Welcome, Dr. LaTonya Kilpatrick-Liverman. Thank you for being with us today. I am so thrilled to be able to introduce everyone to Dr. LaTonya Kilpatrick-Liverman. She holds a BA degree in chemistry from Hampton University and a PhD degree in chemistry from Princeton University. LaTonya works in the Clinical Dental Research Department at Colgate Palmolive. She leads a diverse team of researchers responsible for evaluating early and development technologies, developing improved clinical methods to objectively measure oral conditions, and developing new clinical measurements to detect preclinical signs of disease. She is the author of 18 patent publications, 17 journal and book articles, and 20 internal publications. LaTonya feels strongly about exposing kids to science early on. Welcome, LaTonya. You have an incredibly impressive background. It was quite a mouthful to get a lot of it out. Can you tell me a little bit about it, your career and what you do at Colgate?
Yeah, so I actually started working at Colgate straight from graduate school, so straight from Princeton University. And a lot of times people, when they graduate with their PhD, they're seeking a career opportunity that focuses on what they really were doing in the academic world. And that was not the case for me. I was seeking a more applied science type career, so I started in Colgate actually making bar soap. So a lot of times as consumers, we don't really think about there's chemistry in the making process of bar soap, but there actually is. And the science behind making bar soap pulls from a lot of different disciplines. And I actually learned a little bit about an engineering process called rheology. I learned a little bit about psychology and the consumer research part. So that beginning career kind of launched me into looking at different aspects of science throughout my progress at Colgate. So it started with bar soaps, then I understood, I worked in the skin area, understanding how products impact skin, and it's evolved to oral care now.
Did you always want to be a scientist?
I was heavily influenced to be a scientist by my father. My father is a medical doctor, and so we always had, because of his influence, my mom is a teacher, and she had us focus a lot on the technical writing part of science, but my dad always asked us questions and tried to challenge us in thinking from a scientific perspective. So I think, yeah, as a kid, I and my sister went the science route. My brother did not. He went the other route. And so I think I was heavily influenced by my father. So yes, the answer is yes.
Oh, that's great. He must have been thrilled that you followed in
his
footsteps.
He was. He just wanted me to go the MD route. I said, that's just not for me. I'm more suited for the research side. So, and my sister chose to do both. So she has both degrees. So.
Wow, what an impressive family you have. So tell me a little bit about, you have authored 18 patent publications. That's a lot, and 17 journal and book articles. Tell me a little bit about that. That's something that a lot of people think, wow, I don't think I'd ever be able to do that. How did you do it?
You know, so I'll just step back. So when, as a scientist, you have to choose kind of your career path. So the fact that I chose the PhD path meant that I liked to do research. And as a part of that love for research, you are expected to document all the finds that you discover. And you're expected to document for a couple of reasons: to help others, so that others learn from what you've done, or that they don't repeat an experiment that's already been done, and to also build your credentials. So as you write, you're actually being peer reviewed and you're getting some insights and perspective from different lenses. So it actually grow, provide you with growth in the area that you're working in. So it's expected to write, and you're actually helping others by writing. So I think it's something that all should consider, because it makes you think about your research and makes you ask questions that you might not have thought about before, because you're actually now writing through the thought process of what was done and how it was done. And it also provides you with some thoughts of what to do in the future, how you can move to the next step of whatever experiment or research that you're embarking on.
Do you work as an individual or as part of a team?
So right now I work as a part of a team. So and again, writing also helps the team understand what each individual in the team is doing. So on the team, everyone has a different role. Everyone has a different objective to achieve, but we all kind of meet periodically to discuss the outcome of what we're doing and agree as a team on how to move forward.
What's it been like being a woman in the science field?
You know, I think so it's been wonderful. I've not had any experience where I thought being a woman got in the way of my being successful. I've had both women and men, research advisors and bosses, and I thought I've been treated the same by both genders. I chose the area of research in graduate school because of my interest in the field, but also because the group that I worked with had a very diverse mix of women and men, and so I wasn't like the single woman ever in any of in the workplace or in academia. So I've had a very positive experience as a woman.
That's great to hear. Do you have any recommendations for kids who maybe don't know that they like science yet, or who do like science and might want to choose a career in chemistry?
You know, it's a very good question, especially when you pose to those kids that feel they don't like science. And I think I would just say you just may not like the science that you have been exposed to so far. I learned after school that there's so many areas of the field that I had not even considered, that I really thought if I had to do it over again, I might choose differently. So I would just suggest, even if you think now you don't like it, continue with the coursework, because once you stop, you've totally eliminated or reduced the chance that you would ever seek it again. So continue with the math, continue exploring different science areas, and you might be surprised. There might be an area, a field that you actually enjoy working on.
That's terrific advice. I really appreciate that advice. I'm sure that other kids will appreciate it also.
Yeah, I think with age, you kind of look backwards, and you wish you could have done things differently. And so I'm just trying to give that level of advice to the young people now.
I think that's great advice. I think a lot of us, myself included, didn't know how many options were available. And it's nice to know that there are. And I hope that if someone has a question, they might be able to reach out to you via Ask a Mentor if someone's interested in the field of chemistry or science.
Sure, no problem.
Thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate this time. And again, this is Dr. LaTonya Kilpatrick-Liverman. Thank you so much.
And thank you, Deborah, for inviting me. I really appreciate the opportunity.
It's our pleasure. We're thrilled at the Mentor Project to have you as part of the team. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, I just